I think one of the things we definitely want to avoid is people losing trust in science. And I think in order to really ensure that, we have to be representing science correctly, because people are going to find the flaws in how things are, presented and how it's represented. And I think that a lot of people find the issues of science being presented as this sort of in a dogmatic way, and how, um, you know, it's presented as, oh, scientists are all saying this. That's just not how it works, and I think people see the issues in that. Um, and so I think if we really, sort of represent science as it truly is, as this community of people that are challenging each other, that are open minded to any possibility, that are scrutinizing of every idea, and that are letting data fuel the process. If we really represent science in that way, I think there will be a lot more trust in science and how it works, and the conclusions that come out of it. So yeah, I think people need to start thinking about things like this. I think, one, we need to start thinking about ways of how do we get people more scientifically literate. I think one thing is that people should look at papers. I feel like people don't really look at papers. One really good website for that is nature.com. It's kind of like the pinnacle of academic papers, so definitely check that out. Um, and yeah, papers are super complicated, but something as simple as reading the abstract or the conclusion and seeing how many times is that reproduced, how many times are you seeing that conclusion, that is huge. You know what I mean? And I think a world where, you know, in the media or in leadership, when they say a conclusion, they can easily reference data and anyone can take a look at it. I think that's a better future. Um, at a very high level, I think that the populace needs to be able to do that. They need to be able to be that critical. Otherwise, like, leadership can just sort of abuse that ignorance and just say, this is true because scientists say so without showing any data whatsoever. I think even some of the top science, organizations that we have in the world sometimes say things without showing data. Um, and I think that people should challenge them. Like, we should demand better, and we should demand data, and we should demand, okay, how many times has that been reproduced, or what level of confidence can we have in this? What's the statistical significance? These are little things that I feel like every person should know, because otherwise that ignorance can be used against them. I think it's a shame that, the way that science is taught in school, in my opinion, is very uninspiring. I think that a lot of people are being attracted to science and math because a lot of people, they recognize they're really good at it. But I don't think there's enough people that are attracted to these fields because, you know, they find the beauty in it, or they're passionate about it. And I think at one level it's because they're poorly represented, like science isn't represented well at all. But I think another aspect is we're not being told the significance behind the equations. It's like, yeah, okay, I've written this down a million times, but how is this shaping how I look at the world? Like, how can I look at the world differently by understanding this? And I think taking some time to have that reflection is like huge, to really understand the weight of like what the field is doing and why it's so important and why it's so transformative of how humans are able to look at things. Um, yeah, I think it's a real problem. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that science is kind of, based on what I've been saying, or from your own personal observations, do you think it's poorly understood? Um, but yeah, if you enjoy content like this, subscribe. Shoot me a like if you enjoyed. And yeah, till next time. Peace.